let's continue on with the Super Bowl because again, it wasn't just a football game that was entertaining. Of course, the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny, boy, he put on a show. I love the
Cooked.
performance. It was cool. I love the fact that when he handed the little boy his Grammy award, I love the fact how he got other countries united together. Yes, was I happy to see the Latinas, the baddies dancing, including Cardi B there? Cardi, don't try to act as if you weren't there. We all knew you were there dancing. Also, Jessica Alba was there as well too. Shout out to Jessica Alba. But Bad Bunny was putting on a great show and a performance in the Super Bowl. No surprise, it beat out Turning Point USA. By the way, it looks pretty bad for Turning Point USA when Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes are calling you out, questioning whether or not the views you had were legitimate. Because Turning Point USA, they claiming what, champs? Over 6 million? 6
It
million
was
that they
5
had?
million. It was 5 million, but I doubt it was even that.
Right.
They couldn't get it streamed live on X because of copyright issues. Number one, that they was hurt right off the gate. So with them not being able to do it on a network television show and them trying to stream it online, that kind of hurt them in the first place. Not to mention, you didn't really have no super big time act. This is not 2001, and this ain't the TRL generation. So
No,
it's not, and
if
and it bite them in the ass. And Trump, we all knew he had something controversial to say regarding the Super Bowl. He said Bad Bunny's performance was absolutely terrible. Well, if it's so terrible, then why did you spend the time watching it?
Yeah, that's something I never did get. You had an opportunity, and look, I'm gonna just be real. This is just me. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I don't like a show, let's say I don't like Survivor, and a rival show. Well, let's just go back to the Monday Night Wars because remember, I compared Turning Point versus the halftime show to the Monday Night Wars. If you don't like something, then do everything you can in order to beat them in the ratings. If you are the president and anybody else on that team, then guess what? You do everything you can in order to watch the show that you deem conducive. That's the thing. You do no, I'm serious. You do everything you can. You don't have pictures in the White House of you watching the Super Bowl halftime show. I wouldn't even turn it on. I would have had it on Kid Rock. Now there's this whole investigation going on because, they said, well, the lyrics may not have been appropriate, which I think is a cop-out. I think the main thing they should have been looking at is this. The main thing, and I said this on my TikTok, by the way. The main thing they should have been looking at is what Bad Bunny did at the end of the show. He had all the flags from all the different countries in the Americas, North America and South America. And he had the American flag first and the Puerto Rican flag leading the charge. And he held that damn football up and said, together, we are America.
Okay.
That is the main thing that she did because he's not teaching division. He's not teaching anything. He held that thing up and said, together, we are America. And that is the most symbolic thing that probably anybody could ever. Together, we are America. Not just one group, not just who we deem to be America. Together, we are America. And I think people need to start from either side.
Unfortunately, that's not the case, champ. Because no, the reason why, because as you always tell me, sorry to cut you off, narrative.
Yeah.
It's all about narrative. It's all about narrative. And plus, Megyn Kelly, that bullshit that you were spewing.
I can't stand that woman.
I mean, America. I mean, apple pie. I mean, you want the Super Bowl to just be America, man? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Everything she named in terms of food and everything like that is third party. It came from other countries. So what is she even talking about?
Funny about hamburgers, hot dogs, and ribs and shit. That ain't even American.
They're all European. They're all European originated foods.
Every food that we love in America is not even a damn American food. It's a
So we took from different countries and cultures. So what's
hamburgers are German. Hamburgers are German.
So significant.
Hamburgers are German. Hot dogs are like Italian based. It's like, bro. Come on, bro.
American based.
But apple pie is Dutch based. I'm like, what are we doing?
Because the problem is they don't understand They don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't do their research. They don't think Bad Bunny is American when he actually is American. Because, and I hate repeating this over and over again. I don't understand why it has to be so redundant. Puerto Rico is a part of the United States of America. People, if you can't understand that, just Google. You can read a book
Yes.
or just go to Google and type it up real quick. And
Or watch The Little Giant.
that. And look, it looks pretty bad when Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes are calling you out regarding the views. And look, I have my issues. And to say issues would be an understatement with Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes because we all know how radical they are. After all, this is the same Nick Fuentes that called Jason Whitlock a token. But for them to be calling out Turning Point USA, that is something to say. And Chimp, you mentioned the House of Republicans asking the FCC to investigate it. They had Kid Rock performing in the Super Bowl. Remember the song? One of his songs, certain lyrics.
Yeah.
And you are telling the FCC to investigate Bad Bunny. I mean, the nerve, the temerity, the audacity. It just tells you, champ, like you said on the TikTok, man, you can't just take the L and keep it moving. No one was surprised that Bad Bunny's performance clearly outperformed Turning Point USA. Bad Bunny's like, I don't know if it's the highest or the fourth or third highest. I think Kendrick Lamar is still number one.
No, Bad Bunny's the highest ever. He passed Kendrick.
Oh, he passed Kendrick. Okay,
he passed Kendrick
because I'm conflicted because I see other reports that say it's Kendrick, but then Bad Bunny's like 135.4 at Bad Bunny's or
Bad Bunny. I think Bad Bunny at like 135.4 is like the highest ever now.
Okay, because I'm confused with all these reports because 1 minute it says Kendrick has the most, but then they say Bad Bunny because I'm confused. But either way, one thing is pretty obvious, as you mentioned before the show, champ. It beat the shit out of Turning Point USA. And look, I'm glad that Turning Point USA is just a joke. You just jealous, you just mad because Bad Bunny sells. He sells tickets, he sells ratings. And you're just mad. You still say, no, we still did a good job. Like I say, please stop insulting my intelligence. Don't tell me the shit coming from your pants is chocolate. Okay? And I'm supposed to believe it's chocolate. It's bullshit. You just mad at the fact. Just take the L. Keep it moving. Take this L that I'm pointing at right here. Just accept the fact that Bad Bunny's performance far better than Turning Point USA. I also get mad that Chris Brown, that he mentioned that the Super Bowl should have had him perform in the Super Bowl. And yes, it would have been great to see Chris Brown perform in the Super Bowl, but to Jamel Hill's point, I do think it's taken away the moment of what Bad Bunny did in the Super Bowl, what he was trying to accomplish, the goal. As you mentioned, Champ, he had everyone there of all countries united. And that's what America's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about unity. But with the dumbass in office, it's all about diversity. It's all about stupidity. I mean, hearing the comments from Meghan Kane, hearing all these comments from all these other Republicans and conservatives, it's just stupid. And Stephen A. Smith, did you see the video that I sent you with Stephen A. Smith agreeing with the president about Bad Bunny singing all in Spanish? Yet I am not surprised at all because this is the same Stephen A. Smith who criticized Shohei Ohtani. Remember what he said about Shohei Ohtani 5 years ago?
He couldn't be the face of the league because he couldn't speak English.
I was trying to avoid that BRF. I mean,
sometimes. Nah. See, you know what? I'll come
Did
in
I
and
lie?
bite a bullet when you don't want to. I mean, I'll come because like Stephen A. Smith over the past like couple of years or so, he's really starting to get on my damn nerve too. He ain't Jason Whitlock level getting on my damn nerve, but he's starting to get on my damn nerve. It's like because he keep talking all this junk about the 2028 presidential run and all of that stuff. Like I ain't voting for his ass. Talking about he want to run as a Democrat too. I ain't voting for him because I couldn't trust him as far as he could throw him. And this is what I'm gonna say. To this day, and I saw this on Twitter. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. From this day forward, Kid Rock is no longer Kid Rock anymore because his lip singing in that show was so bad. He's not Kid Rock anymore. He is Hillbilly Vanilli now.
You know what's so funny about Kid Rock, man? I never forget something he said about Jay-Z, right? He said something kind of stupid about Jay-Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never forget. Kid Rock, you would be the one to talk about the term DEI. Yeah, you was a DEI in hip hop.
And you also, then also too, champ. You also called out Kid Rock. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's from Detroit. Why does he have the Confederate flag?
Yeah, you from Detroit. And the thing is, you're carrying around a Confederate flag like you're a Southern general and one of the sons of the Confederacy.
Now, if you were in a state like Alabama or Mississippi or Tennessee,
Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, even one of the southern states, I can understand. But you ain't never set foot down south. It's quite ironic when you could. I see a common trend with a lot of guys like that. You ever notice there's a common trend with guys like that. When they can't sell their rap albums, they always convert to doing shit like that. When they can't, sell on the hip hop side because they're not selling records, they always convert and become try to be this southern type of country rock type of guy. When you stole what thing is about it, Kid Rock is his hit song Bother, he stole that from Busy Bee, hip hop legend. Everybody remembers the song Suicide by Busy Bee when he was battling against Kool Moe Dee at the rooftop in Harlem World. Everybody remembers that.
Here's the quote from Stephen A. Smith and what he said about Bad Bunny speaking in Spanish. Here's my only reticence. I can't pronounce the word. You're in the United States of America and you perform damn near an entire performance in Spanish. Trump saying that Trump made a legitimate point about the lack of English. If you didn't understand Spanish, you were lost. That's ridiculous because, first of all, look, none of us understand Spanish, but we can understand the vibe, the vibrations, the dancing, the mood, the melody, and everything else. So why? But again, I'm not surprised because history will always repeat itself. Again, what he said about Shohei Ohtani 5 years ago, saying how it's bad for baseball, for the face of Major League Baseball to have an interpreter. What does it matter if he doesn't speak English or not? The fact of the matter is, can he play? Is he a generational talent? Can he sell? Can he market tickets? Which Shohei Ohtani can do. Why is that relevant? Whether if he can speak English or not? Would it be great if he spoke English? I mean, yeah, whatever. But who cares? Why does that matter? Why is that relevant? And again, it's Trump, all these MAGA supporters, and these Republicans. Champ, I know you're smiling and laughing because I sound a lot more like Jim Cornette because I sent you the video of Trump of Cornette bashing Trump. But I'm sorry, man. When it comes to this type of stuff, I will not hesitate to say whatever's on my mind. It's just getting ridiculous with all this stuff, all this bullshit that all these MAGA supporters and these Trump supporters and people on the right complaining about Bad Bunny's performance. If you would just tell me you're not a fan of Bad Bunny, you just don't like his music, you just don't like his style of music, all right, fine, cool. To each his own. Not everybody's cup of tea. That being said, to question whether he's American, which, by the way, he is technically because he's from Puerto Rico, to question his outfits or whatever, to question anything about him as a human being, that says a lot more about you. It says a lot more about you. You're just spreading a bunch of bullshit. And for these Republicans, the House of Republicans, to ask FCC to investigate this matter, it just tells me a lot about you and your bullshit. But meanwhile, and you're talking about how it's inappropriate, and to say inappropriate would be an understatement because there are certain terms which I will not use. You are questioning, you have a problem with Bad Bunny's lyrics, but Look at the guy who performed on Turning Point USA, and look at his lyrics. And you tell me it's something that you approve. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, the reason why I'm laughing, like I said, Kid Rock's talk about DEI, bro. You were a DEI in hip hop. You were the rebellious kid that rebelled against your parents. And what's so funny about that? When he went to Jive Records, he had the backing of every single hip hop legend you could possibly think of. He had the backing of Too Short, De La Soul, and everybody else. He had a little hot top fade. He had this little song called Yodeling in the Valley. Even DJ D Nice was backing him up and vouching for him, and he still could not sell more than 100,000 copies. It took him 10 years in order to have a hit song, and his first hit song, ironically, was stolen from Busy B. Like I said, his song "Suicide" by that he went up against Cool Mo Lee. Go look up at it. I mean, it's on Beef. Shout out to Quincy Jones III. It's on the original Beef. You can see it. One of the biggest battles in hip hop history. Everybody knows that Busy B made up that bother bang. So all of your nuances, everything that you have done, all of the, I mean, even the hat, even the little hat that he wears, it's from Run DMC. And even in his song, I think it was called American Badass, he said, I'm like Johnny Cash and Grandmaster Flash. So everything that you have at this point has been borrowed and stolen from hip hop. But yet you want to talk, even at your peak, when TRL was at its peak, MTV was at its peak, when you was going #1 on the TRL chart, you could never, ever eclipse a Jay-Z. You couldn't even eclipse the guys that were under him at Benny Siegel and Memphis Bleak. And if you and Jay-Z went head to head, show for show, in the same city, even if they played on your turf, that being in Nashville, because you have a strong footing in Nashville on the Strip, even if they was in your own turf, you probably could never outsell Jay-Z concert to concert. Jay-Z sold over 200 million copies. You only sold 29 million at your peak with the machine behind you. And as far as all of this other nonsense about Bad Bunny, yeah, we get the whole drift. Oh, I don't understand it. You didn't understand it last year when Kendrick Lamar was saying what he was saying. Even when Samuel L. Jackson was narrating it to you and telling you what America thought of his performance. Oh, you thought we forgot about that. He narrated the entire performance. Remember the second part of that. Too loud, too rowdy, too ghetto. Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? That was a message. So even last year, you didn't understand. You claimed you didn't understand. So guess what? You didn't understand it in English, so we brought it to you in Spanish. So, hey.
I was kind of disappointed, Champ, with Bad Bunny's outfit. You know why? Because everything that you said last week before the Super Bowl, I wanted him to piss off so many people. Yeah. I wanted him to piss off even more.
Hey, man.
I'm dead ass serious when I say that.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted him to piss off even more because I want to hear what them motherfuckers have to say. And look, like I said, if you're not a fan of Bad Bunny's music, his style or something, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But to say that he doesn't belong or shouldn't perform in the Super Bowl, like I said, is bullshit. It just tells me a lot about you. To say that his performance was terrible or wasn't that good, clearly you don't know music. Clearly you can't vibe. You don't have to understand what he says, but you can just vibe, you can just feel, you can understand music. It was a hell of a performance. It was a great performance. It also symbolized what America's supposed to be. United for everyone. For every continent, every country. And that's what it's supposed to be. But instead, because of the dumbass in office and because of what's going on in this world, we're just so stick to diversity. And again, Megyn Kelly, her comments and BRF. I'll let you go even further if you want to say about Megan Kelly. Matter of fact, I'll let you have the floor right now.
Wait to see this.
My thing is this though. I mean, it's a shame that they talk about like the Latin people the way they do, but yet they still visit their countries, going on vacation. Stay your butt out of Mexico. Stay your butt out of Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about them being over here and all this other stuff, but yet you still want to engage and you still want to enjoy that culture. You still want to visit their countries. You still want to get with their women. You still want to eat their food. Like, I mean, you going to pick a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Find the lane and stay in it. You can't talk about them one way, but yet you still want to enjoy and engage in the culture. You can't have it both ways. Pick a struggle. Like, shout out to I can't remember the lady's name. Gosh, but she
which
does
woman?
the
I can try to
she
help.
does the oh gosh, Jennifer. Her name's Jennifer Welch. That woman, she hit it on such that I'm talking about hit it to the T. Like if you wanna enjoy your own culture, you bathe in it. Like quit. Don't watch sports that are dominated by basically by us. Don't go into Latin restaurants. Don't enjoy their culture. Just enjoy the culture that you just want to be so. You just want to so dominate. And I'm not trying to sound like that, but they give off these vibes when they say the stuff they say. And I mean, and Megyn Kelly, she's a grifter anyway. She's always has been. Like whatever's trending at the time, she's gonna go that way anyway. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all if like 5 or 6 years down the road things flipped and she flipped again and switched the other side. I mean, Megyn Kelly was like that because that was the time she would speak against Trump. She was speaking against Trump at one point. Now she's like just front and center as like one of the biggest supporters. So I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't even take Megyn Kelly's word seriously, and it's like.
Just like we don't take Jason Whitlock's word seriously.
Well, I mean, Jason. I've said this about Jason Whitlock, and I'll say it again. Jason Whitlock ain't nothing more than a Fat Albert and a radio combination. I've said that about him once. I'll say it again. That's all he is. That's all he is. I'm not. I take Jason Whitlock about as serious. You know what? I ain't even gonna go there. There's a special tier in life for people like Jason Whitlock, and he can just sit there and he can just rest in it. For all I know, I mean, he is like if you took the word disgrace and you put a man's face beside the word disgrace, and I know I just made a bar. I don't even care at this point. You take a man's face in a picture and you put it beside the word disgrace. It's Jason Whitlock. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, it's a shame the things that he's allowed to say and have a platform, and just because he draws some viewers that kind of agree with what he has to say. He keeps a platform. I mean, he is like. Wait a minute. How did? I don't want to say it the way
Simple
Cat
Simon
Williams
motherfucker.
Not that. There's a Cat Williams says it another way, and I don't want to say it, but he hit it perfectly with guys like Jason Whitlock because it was in his Pimp Chronicles special where he talked about smoking and how smoking made people smart.
Do you really want to hear what Jason Whitlock had to say regarding Bad Bunny's performance in the Super Bowl? Says here.
You know what? No. I'm ready. I'm ready to pick it apart. What do you say?
Following the performance, Whitlock referred to Bad Bunny as a quote poverty pimp, like most drug dealers on his show. Cultural critique. Whitlock described the performance in extreme terms, characterizing it as quote birth of a nation for Latino people, and criticizing the content as quote gyrating, dancing, drinking, and having sex. Anti-NFL sentiment. Whitlock accused the NFL of pushing a specific social quote woke and demonic agenda by selecting the Puerto Rican artist and boycotting Urge. He urged his audience to boycott the Super Bowl over the choice of performer.
You mean the same Jason Whitlock that was mad he couldn't get enjoy Taylor Draw?
Bro, chill.
The same that dude.
Chill.
No, hey,
You can say it. You can
but
say
y'all
it.
feel,
I don't care. I don't care.
but you feel what I'm saying though. People like Jason Whitlock needs to have every ounce of talking privilege revoked and terminated and thrown in the trash. Like guys like him just don't need to speak because it's like I don't know. How can you claim to be a Christian and let some of the things out your mouth, out your mouth? Let me tell you something. If God walked down on this earth right now, all these so-called Christians, he slapped hell out of every single one of them. He flat out would. He flat out would. Because it's like, I died on the cross and came back on the Sabbath day to see y'all doing what y'all doing. I ain't die for this. I ain't dying come back for this. What are y'all doing? And besides, I mean, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna move on to the next point. I mean, they put Jesus in jail.
But anyway,
that's a conversation for another day.
But the thing is this, even when Beyonce performed, and she is a cultural icon. She is a cultural icon. They find a way to attack it and call it, oh, it's so woke, bro. Just because hey, look, like I said, if you don't like it, turn the damn TV off. I mean, that's the thing. And the thing is, you had every chance. It's kind of like, look, it's kind of like if the NFL comes on a Sunday and sports PSP shows come on, and I just so happen to be off, and I broke my leg or something. I'm saying the hell with the NFL. I'm trying to get my guys' ratings up. That's the thing. And if it would have been legitimately 10, maybe 20 million, something like that, then guess what? You would have had a legitimate argument. So the thing is, you would have had a legitimate argument, even if it would have, I don't think it would have ever have broken even. But if you would have had 10, 20, 30 million, then guess what? You would have had yourself something. But it's just time to stop playing illusion. When Beyonce performed, you call it woke. When Kendrick Lamar's song, we don't understand it. When Bad Bunny performed, you don't understand it. When with anybody else, I had one guy tell me that there hasn't been a good Super Bowl show in the last couple years since Prince. I literally died laughing when I heard that. But that's another story for another day. If you don't like the song, there's other alternatives. I mean, when I was younger, you had halftime heat. I turned from the halftime show in order to watch Sunday Night Heat. So you had alternatives. So for you to be still, you had alternatives. It's just like, you having a Burger King and a McDonald's. If you don't like McDonald's, you had a choice to go to Burger King. But you still peeked your head in the McDonald's house, in Ronald McDonald's house, and had to take a peek. And quite frankly, I don't blame him considering all that I saw on that show. But I digress. And it's time, man. Stop calling your uncomfort woke because it's just that you're uncomfortable with it. And what's so funny about this, a lot of the rock groups that are deemed American, they're not from fucking America.
Did you hear the comments from Gene Simmons regarding hip hop and the Hall of Fame?
Again, hip hop. Again, what's so funny about the ghetto is rock came from the ghetto. It came from the backwoods of down south, from guys like Pig Meat Martin, from guys like Chuck Berry, from guys like Muddy Waters and guys like that. That's where it started. So, all of that, I'm not ghetto. I can't relate. It's kind of weird because guess what? All of that music that floods the marketplace right about now, it started within poor neighborhoods.
and which rocker does a lot of these all-time rock legends idolize as far as paving the way for them?
Muddy Waters.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Muddy Waters, Jimi Hendrix. Even despite its history, Ike Turner, all those guys. I mean, Howlin' Wolf. What's so funny about it is a lot of that music A lot of that rock music, that that juke joint music, what they used to call it, because back when we was doing it was considered juke joint music. By the way, that was considered. All of that is coming back. You hear it with the line dancing, and with them fans that you hear a lot of it now. So rock started in black neighborhoods, just like hip hop started in black neighborhoods. So every single genre of music that you ever would want to listen to is is because of a black artist. Ironically, CM Punk song "Look in My Eyes,"
Black people, the cult of personality. Black people,
living color.
Living Color. They made that song. A lot of the grunge artists that was with Nirvana that started in Seattle, a lot of those artists were black. So let's stop with this whole. I wasn't from the. You're not even the biggest act of all time, if you really want me to be honest, Mr. Simmons. Let's just be real.
As far as with Jason Whitlock, with what he said, calling Bad Bunny poverty pimp, man, get the fuck out of here. Like I said before, man, and while I'll keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it to Undisputed World Champ, I don't ever want to hear you compare yourself to Jason Whitlock. I don't ever want to hear you compare yourself to Jason Whitlock. That should never be your fear. That should never be your concern. Because Jason Whitlock, to say all these things that I read, and I sent you the DM, champ. If people think I'm exaggerating or fabricating, you can just look it up on Google. It's pretty obvious who he is. As Denzel Washington said it best in the movie American Gangster, simple Simon motherfuckers. Because that's what you're going to get from Jason Whitlock anytime when he uses his platform to spew bullshit. As for people, look, if you're not a fan of Bad Bunny and his music, go watch TV. Go watch something else. You can watch Hulu, watch Netflix. You can go to watch something else. Go do something else. Hell, watch OnlyFans or find something. There's other alternatives for y'all to find, but instead, y'all want to take the time to complain about the Super Bowl. I mean, you said it yourself too, champ. Alternatives. They had alternatives, but instead, they want to focus on the Super Bowl. And for President Trump to take the time to watch the Super Bowl, because we saw it. We saw this video of him watching the Super Bowl.
Man,
tells us.
Man, Trump has always had some type of weird kind of admiration for Bad Bunny. So when I saw that clip of his little party or whatever, and they were watching the Super Bowl, I wasn't shocked at all because Bad Bunny had wore an outfit or whatnot at like a party or whatnot. Trump saw it and wore the same goddamn outfit at an interview at the White House. So I don't even want to hear his. I don't even want to hear his mouth. I don't even want to hear his mouth.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
There you go. And for Trump to say that his performance was absolutely terrible, nobody buying that. Like I said last week, don't tell me the shit coming from your drawers is chocolate. Don't tell me the sky is blue. Nobody believing in that shit, man. But Bad Bunny, he had a hell of a performance in the Super Bowl. If y'all want to complain or whatever, that's fine. Y'all, but Bad Bunny, hell of a performance.
Where'd Champ go?
Oh, he probably too busy focusing on Angel Fernandez, but that's a story for another day.
I'm still laughing about all those OF comments, man. I don't know what's up. What has got
look, like I'm
listen, if you want to blame somebody, why don't you blame Jim Cornette? I thank God for Jim Cornette. I thank God for bringing this man into this world because he's given me the confidence, the liberty to say anything that's on my mind. Champ, I've sent you videos on what he has said about the president.
Yeah.
Look, as far as he go, I've spoken my piece on Jason Whitlock. You know how I feel. Jason Whitlock is what would happen if Fat Albert and Radio made a baby.
Ooh.
That's nasty. Anyway,
let's move on. Let's move on. But this was one hell of a conversation.